but it wasn't enough for ACORN. They went on these national campaigns that they thought could make money, and then they fooled the local people into getting involved. And that's the worst thing, is that they were using these poor people as props, as pawns in their games. And it was never about helping people. As I was telling you, they weren't fighting for money for the poor. The money was in the fight. They were getting money from the government, from nonprofits, from big billionaires like George Soros, Patricia Ballman, Herb and Marion Sandler out of California. They were funding ACORN to do these different little fights. And they had nothing to do with helping people. It was all about crippling big business and corporations. As you know, they only went after corporations that were the banking industry, the housing industry, the paint industry. They wanted to cripple them and get them to give money or to pay payoffs to ACORN. So when you talk about community organizing, they made it something bad, but one of the things that people need to realize is not really bad. I've been going out and teaching people that we've got to be organizers for freedom. When we go... Thank you. When we go out there, we have to get involved. America was a better place when we knew who our neighbors were, when we cared about what they were doing, when we cared about their kids, and we all worked together. If we're going to take our communities back from the left, we have to go out there and door knock. It's not a tweet. It's not a link you put on Facebook or an email you forward. It's a door you knock on wearing tennis shoes, because it's got to be hard. And that's one of the things I really am trying to hammer home to people, is that while we're out there organizing, the Tea Party movement is great. The only thing that's going to make a difference is, number one, us getting to the ballot box, and number two, getting other people organized. So when these groups come into our community, we can go, we don't need you. We already have community organizers here. Because you know what? They come in and then they run out 5 steps ahead of prosecution. That's how it always works. But if you're registering voters, and I see you at the local store, and I see you dropping off your kids, you're accountable to the community because you live there. And you're not going to register Mickey Mouse or the starting lineup of the Dallas Cowboys. You're going to register your people, and you're going to do it the right way.
So, you know, and Anita and I have had an opportunity to spend some time together today, and I've been trying to read books that will help me understand how the other side thinks, because it just doesn't connect. And so I'm reading a book called Seeds of Change by John Atlas. And that was the exact response I got last night. I said, I'm reading this book, and she just started to laugh, which made me feel great about the hours of research I spent. But at any rate, John Atlas talks about ACORN as this community organizing effort to teach a man to fish, and they're training, and they're getting furniture for people, and your heart just falls out of your chest and just bleeds all over the floor because it's so lovely. Is that ACORN?
No, that's pure fiction. He should not even be allowed to sell that as nonfiction. One of the things I learned, and if you go back and do the research, ACORN was started as a subversive organization. Wade Rathke was a member of the SDS and the Weather Underground way back in the 70s. What they learned from people like Bill Ayers, that they got tired of their people getting locked up and killed. So what they needed to do was assimilate. So they went into academia. They went into the nonprofit world. They went into community organizing. So you have people in the field like Francis Fox Piven of the Clara Piven Strategy that are working with ACORN. I was sat on a conference call with Francis Fox Piven and Project Vote not a week ago, where they released a study saying that the Tea Party movement has hijacked the dreams of the real voters, which are these voters that they went and found and paid money for the survey. But it's all fiction. When they started the organization, it was to build power. They had a vision of a society that was a socialist utopia. And the only way to get there was not with force and tanks. They tried that in the 60s. It was with assimilating into American society and taking it over from within. So now it's not coming, the fight for our country is not coming from the outside. It's coming from our classrooms. They're in our classrooms teaching our kids. They're in the nonprofit world funneling money back and forth from different organizations. And they're the ACORNs that are overseas right now in Indonesia, Philippines, Mexico, Canada. They're trying to overthrow governments across the country, or at least create enough chaos to where it allows them to slip in. They're doing it here in the United States, and they're certainly doing it in Canada. ACORN International, or Communities Organizations International, whatever you want to call it, you should be very aware that this is a threat, not only in the United States, but internationally, because you don't want them working with dictators in foreign countries, and they're giving ACORN contracts to come in and buy votes. And that's exactly what they're doing in Indonesia and in the Philippines. They're buying votes for the people that they want to get elected, and we don't know if they're getting government contracts or what, but ACORN International was started using tax dollars that was then funneled overseas.
You gotta love that. Your tax dollars at work. That's fantastic. And so, characterize for us, because you were with ACORN up until 2008, right? So you saw the groundswell that was the Barack Obama campaign.
Yes.
What was the vibe in ACORN back? Those had to be like the go-go days, right? I mean, it's going to happen. We are going to usher this in. What has happened, in your opinion, from that point up and until the Tea Party movement, and seeing that that has no intention of dying and anything but that, we're actually getting stronger? How do you think that factors into their purview of the take on things?
Those were the good days when, right before Barack Obama got elected in 2007, those were what they call, what the salad days or whatever for ACORN. Everyone was excited. They called it a once-in-a-generation opportunity. I remember sitting at my desk in D.C. and taking a call from the Obama campaign. Of course, being a liberal, I was really, really excited. And I got on my computer and I typed out a message. I was like, you'll never guess who just called. It was the Barack Obama campaign. They want to talk to so-and-so. And I sent this message off to Zach Paulette, Executive Director of Project Vote, my boss, Karen Gillette, and Nathan Henderson James, that was over online projects. That was a big no-no. I didn't know that at the time. But my boss came in and she was like, if you ever get an email like that again, just call me, She didn't chastise me, but I got the feeling that that was a big no-no. Now there was a trail. Then she handed me a black and white USB drive, about a 10 gig drive. And she said, I want you to copy this list and put it on your computer. What she had given me was the 2007 second quarter Obama donor list. The list more complete than he gave to the FEC, because it included all of the donors below $200. Those donors never made it to the FEC reports. Those were the ones with those credit cards that were being put through and they weren't verifying. And we were supposed to work to get out the vote for the Obama campaign. That's how important it was, that they were willing to coordinate with the campaign, get the list, and make sure that maxed out presidential donors gave to ACORN, since they couldn't give to the campaign. After he got elected, they had a presidential wish list. And after he got elected, it was supposed to be smooth sailing. A couple of things happened that prevented that, though. Number one, there is no honor among thieves. I know this person's name, but I will not out her tonight. But someone from ACORN that was disgruntled about the fact that she wasn't given a bigger position told the New York Times about the embezzlement scandal. It had been rumors and whispers in the halls of ACORN for years about Wade Rathke's brother stealing money. That was the first time it ever got out there. Once the New York Times reported it, ACORN went into shambles because they had this plan, but they couldn't implement it anymore because the public was watching. They had to make it look good, so they fired Wade Rathke. They fired Zach Paulette. These are their two top people and their founders of ACORN, because Zach Paulette founded ACORN with Wade Rathke back in the 70s. He did political operations, Wade did community organizing. So they had to get rid of them. That was number one. Number two, whistleblowers, former board members, myself. People started coming out and telling the tale of ACORN. Something else they didn't expect. They tried to silence us. They threatened us. I was sued for $5 million personally. And it was crazy because they were trying to control the leaks any way possible. And then you had the ACORN prostitution videos in 2009. It was a perfect storm for ACORN that they couldn't survive.